All right, so we're here. NoHu Live is back this week, Sunday. Happy day after Cinco de Mayo. If you guys are recovering from all that drinking, cheers to you. And I hope you feel better today. So yeah, I think today we're gonna talk about just like what our week in NoHu has been, but particularly what did we do yesterday? What was everybody doing on Cinco de Mayo?
Casey,
Let's start with Casey.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah. So we ended up downtown, just overlooking what's the skyscraper downtown? Freedom Tower.
Oh, okay.
Freedom Tower, and we were on a rooftop. Had DJ going, got some food.
In the city?
Yeah, in the city. Had some friends over. Everyone had our Cinco de Mayo hats on, and it was good.
Nice.
Got out for a little bit.
Nice.
I felt like I was a hermit for the whole week, so it was good.
Nice. What about you, Joey?
I didn't really celebrate until later, but I had my friend Annie with her kids over, and she made us some breakfast, some tortillas and some frijoles, some tacos, and then I, stayed home and did home things, like take care of my place and spend time with my dog, Dolce turned 9 yesterday, my Viejita. And then I had a chance to celebrate with you guys, with my boys. We had a little bit of delicious craft beer from Bottle Co. If you haven't been, it's on Kennedy, and I believe 54th Street. It's right by the Avalon Apartments, and it's an amazing place. It has a wide selection of beers and drinks and cigars. You can go and you can taste whatever you'd like while you're walking and you're browsing.
And where's it? It's on Kennedy.
You know where the Avalon building, Avalon Apartments?
But on Kennedy and like 57th Street.
57th Street,
right across the street from, is it Maison Español?
Maison Español and the old Our Lady of Libra.
Which also is a really,
You like cigars?
can be a decent place.
I love cigars.
Ooh.
Have you been to Havana?
We need to go to that cigar place in
we have to share
Weehawken.
one,
See,
yeah.
Cigars
over
over
the
a chess game?
Over at Chess and Cigars and
all right,
whiskey?
done.
Okay,
done,
that's
done.
a night.
We're doing
That's a
that.
hangout.
If you want to join us, we're going to post our cigar and chess
And
hangout.
guys, have you been to Havana Cigars in Weehawken? We can actually feature
for your
them.
birthday.
Yeah, well, we should go again. I go often if you guys ever want to.
I want to go again.
Meet up after work.
I actually have a bunch of Cuban cigars that I got on my trip to Cuba last year, and I think they're still good. We can do those
Yeah.
So what are your favorite local hangouts? Like, you guys want to chill, relax?
Honestly, I love exploring, and that's the one thing that me and my partner have in common is that we're faithful to our community, but we're also not like a visiting regular spot kind of people. We're just like, what's new this week? What can we try that's new? And we like to walk around and drive around and be like, we haven't tried this place or we haven't tried that place. But I've been, before we started this NoHu Collective thing, we were just posting about it and being really proud of our gastronomic days out. But now that I'm actually reflect on it, there's a plethora of places that are just so interesting and they're popping up everywhere and they're really cool. And like on days like yesterday where it was very beautiful weather, they're packed, like completely packed. Like that own place that we talked about last week was overflowing with people.
I feel like that place became the local spot.
Yeah, I think so
it's
too.
always packed in,
Even Harry's now.
And
it's
Harry's.
like Harry's is doing really, really good. Do you know Harry's? Have you been there?
I've never been.
Whoa, Harry's Food and Drink, it's really cool. They have murals all over the wall at his wife. So it's like I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's like the owner is him and his wife is an artist and she did all the murals inside. And if you look at all the work that they did, the details on all of the interiors in there, they're just so like very detail oriented, and there's very interesting references to like Cuban and 50s and
it's
like
like
that
one of the
old
only
style, like Americana, like
Yes.
really cool Americana, because it's Cuban and American at the same time. Like it's that 1950s
showing
vibe.
Yeah,
And
they feature a lot of live musicians too.
Yeah, they do. And they have craft beer. That's how we discovered that Weehawken beer from the New Jersey Brewers.
Right.
I love hearing about places like that because I think now we're just inundated with chain stores and franchises.
Absolutely.
And like, the story just isn't there.
Yeah.
Right? So places like that, I love going, even if the quality isn't going to match up with another chain that specializes in this. Like, there's a story behind it, and there's a reason you can go and experience the culture and you can feel part of the community because of that.
Absolutely, but you touched on it right there. It is the story, and part of the problem in this community, and I'm sure everybody can agree with you on this, we have so much social capital, we have so many interesting stories and businesses that have, like, these are entrepreneurs out there, and these are working class, blue collar people, a lot of them, who had a dream, and they came, many came to this country from other places, and they said, I'm going to start a business, and I'm going to create a name for myself, and I'm going to create wealth for myself in the United States. And they chose this area because it's such a diverse area, because we're so close to New York, and there's so much money circulating. The economy here is a lot better.
And they're making it
taxation
happen.
here is more progressive. And they're making it happen. And all of these stories are literally just sitting there, and nobody's telling those stories. And so part of what I think we need to be doing, and also other content creators in the area, because there are a ton of really great content creators on Instagram right now. There's this guy, North Bergen Bites on Instagram, who's really, he's posting a lot of interesting things. The North Bergen Library is now posting a lot more content, which I'm really sick and excited about.
I recently, a few days ago, I reached out to the North Bergen Library. I've reached out to them in the past because I work with libraries. I offer my chess program to kids, but they have been working with their chess vendor for a while, so they didn't, they didn't want to look for anybody else. But they have an adult program for the summer where they offer similar programs that they have for children, like yoga and Zumba and all these different things, typing. So I reached out to their program coordinator about teaching chess, offering chess to adults, and they're thinking about it. So hopefully that's something that can happen. And
I can't stress enough, and not just because she's my best friend in the whole world, but I can't stress enough.
No
and
bias.
this guy can tell you, because after our session last week, we decided to all play chess, and we discovered that everybody's a chess guru except me. I'm just a big old loser.
Definitely not.
But honestly,
so we call it instinctual player.
I want to say that there is a wealth of cognitive development that you can do by just playing the game of chess, and to teach that at a very young age. I mean, I can't personally say that I've looked at the scientific research behind it, but like my impression is that leaves such an impression on that child, like to think strategically, to have a certain kind of like gamesmanship where it's not about the competition and winning or losing, it's about how you win and how you lose. Like that's so
100%.
important.
There's a lot of life lessons that you can learn and apply, and connections that you can make with chess. To teach kids, like if you want to teach them about losing and failure, maybe bringing up that topic is going to be like, I just
play
want
me
to
a
go
chess and I'll
like what are you talking about, right? But you can connect it if they've lost. That's a good segue to like bring up how are you feeling right now.
Have you heard of Go?
Is that?
The game Go?
I feel like I have. I'm not sure.
Oh my god, I love games.
We love games.
So tell us a new game.
Tell us more.
I
will write down.
had drinks with a buddy.
Is it cards?
No, it's like a chess style strategy game. It's like
Alright, she's on it.
one of the older
Noted.
games around. It's a classic game, and they use that as a cognitive judge of computers' progression. So, like last year, for the first time, a computer whooped a Go champion.
I remember reading about this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I want to play now.
Okay.
So
why don't you bring it so we can play
I want
after?
to figure this game out.
Afterwards.
That sounds freaking awesome, guys.
Yeah.
And because games are super important for the development of children, I believe, but also just like adults, to keep people, thinking in different ways and using parts of your brain that aren't used on an everyday basis.
We have a
like
friend,
keep yourself challenged.
Our friend's son, Annie's son Milo,
brought
his chess set.
Oh, really?
And yeah,
Milo's playing chess?
Yes.
That's
so
awesome.
there's a really great Super Mario Brothers chess set. There's also a Harry Potter one. That's definitely a good way to get kids interested if they're not really that interested at first.
Forget
then
kids,
they see
everyone.
Well, yeah.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
Well, maybe we should do like an event where we bring a bunch of people together and play games. I mean, we talk to Parker.
That'd be great.
So we're
do something fun like that.
I'm going out of NoHu for a minute.
Sure.
But downtown in the city near NYU, they just opened up a bar. It's called the Uncommons.
You mentioned it last
For
year.
like $5, there are 1,500 board games. You can just go and try games.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And,
Backpack is usually
I'm convinced.
my go-to, but I want to go.
We gotta get some more board game players.
I mean, seriously, that places like this where people come and lounge and like have a relaxed atmosphere, like we can talk to them and be like, hey, why don't you guys bring a bunch of games
It'd be
in?
nice to have that here.
Yeah.
Hoboken has a place like that, like the Uncommons, and actually the
I've
owner.
seen a lot of places like that in the city.
The owner used to own a famous sandwich shop. I wish I remembered the name, but I remember this fact because he was so welcoming, and I had picked. I was scoping out a place to have my chess league come and practice in the area. And I found this place, and he was like, "Here, let me make you a sandwich," and he was really, really nice. And he has this place where you can just pay like you said, $5, and there's a whole bunch of games that If you want to rent the space, you don't even need to pay. Because there are other things that you could spend money on, so they're it's an investment.
I look at it, you go out for a night at a club or whatever it may be, and you look at your bill, and then you compare it.
Yeah.
Some nights you want to have a game night, and you have
some
it at
nights
home.
you're like, I got paid, it's a right.
Yeah. And I just feel like you get a lot of connectivity with the people you play a game with. You enjoy, you get to know them.
You do.
You're not bombarded with loud music the whole night.
So
it mixes it up.
Drinking your night away and like waking up in a hangover. Like you're really just having. I mean, there could be drinking, fuck it, or something else.
Did any of you enjoy a mezcal or a nice tequila
yesterday?
last night?
We didn't even finish talking about our Cinco de Mayo plans, but yesterday was so nice because my partner and I have right now his sister and her family living with us because of an issue that they had in Puerto Rico with the hurricane, and they have special children with special needs. And it's a long story, but the point is, she woke up in an awesome mood yesterday because it was great weather, and she's like, "All right, guys, who wants to sign up for Mexican stuff day?" And she didn't even, she wasn't really specific about what she wanted to do, but we went shopping and we got like a bunch of avocados, a bunch of onions and tomatoes, and she made pico de gallo, she made amazing tacos with like sour cream and like 4 cheeses. And,
I'm getting hungry
dude,
too.
it was incredible.
The corn
very, very
empanadas
delicious.
that we had here.
Oh, yeah, Parker Cafe just started carrying these really delicious empanadas. I wrote down the person who made them. Her name is Luciana.
Yeah.
And she does catering, she does cakes. Her Instagram is at LUCHIPIA, Lucipia.
They're from West New York, and they actually
really
they make the corn empanadas, the beef empanadas, and the brownies. And they're actually coming up with some. They're bringing some quiches.
So does she have do you know if she has a storefront or she just does catering?
I think she just, from what he said, she just started a little while ago. But I love this. Like I was just talking to a friend of mine a friend of Tony's that I know. He messaged me on Facebook yesterday, and he's like, "Hey, my girlfriend and I are starting this new cookie dough company, and it's gonna be cookie dough that's safe for people to eat, because people like to eat cookie dough, but like at the end of the day, I love cookie dough
and pasta.
But like at the end of the day, it's not really safe because you're like eating raw eggs, and there could be some like salmonella or whatever is in E. coli, whatever's in eggs that usually gets people sick." So like he's making it with him and his girlfriend, and they're making like these little cones and these things that they like deliver to you, and I'm like, great, that's exactly the kind of entrepreneurial spirit that I want to see in our community. People like selling to each other, paying through Venmo,
They're
delivering on their bikes,
is supporting them,
or selling it to the local cafe.
Right.
Like that'd be great because she lives like down the block. This Luciana girl lives down the block, and she's selling some cakes and she's making some extra money. Like she probably has an extra job, but like. The cost of living is constantly increasing in this area because we have a lot of people who are moving from other places.
Wait, can we
and the
shout
rents
out our
are going
friends,
up.
Chris, who actually your friend.
Chris Longoria,
He's
absolutely.
baker.
So we have another friend, Chris Longoria.
I
can't remember his Instagram from the top of my head, but
I can find it.
If you find it, he's great.
He
does the most amazing vegan cakes, and he does them at home. And he's such like the most generous person you'll ever meet in your life. Like he'll make you a cake for your birthday and for all of your friends.
He doesn't even have to know you.
And he doesn't
even
want to charge.
Your birthday party, he's baking you a cake.
But he's incredible, and they're so delicious. You'll never know that there's no animal products in it because it's just and his like famous flavor is the lavender cake. It's so freaking delicious. Like maybe I should talk to Parker Cafe about carrying his cakes.
I feel like you should. The one he made
it would be amazing.
Actually, the one he made for Tony's birthday, it was just chocolate with hazelnuts, and
he's
it was
like
vegan.
Full of hidden talents. Like, he works at a florist now in the city, and for my birthday, I don't remember when, he just gave me this beautiful bouquet of flowers, like the most beautiful high-end arrangement, like that you would expect to spend like $100, $200 on. He just gave it to me. So super awesome guy. Again, just more of like examples of how many amazing people live in our community that we need to be shouting out. And that's part of what the NoHu Collective website is. Like that's what we're trying to do is give people a forum and a space to like show off the amazing things that they do. Found the guy's Instagram. All right, guys, it's Turn Up That Beet. So this is how vegetarian it is. It's turnip, like the vegetable turnip. That as in that, and then beet, BEET. Turnip That Beet. Awesome. I'm gonna
if you need cupcakes, anything.
Hit him up on the message.
Call this man,
and like check out all the stuff that he makes. Like look at this.
Love not only
so that's interesting that you bring up just about any like local entrepreneurs trying to get going.
Yeah.
I think people have this trepidation when they're getting something going, where they don't want to put it on blast. They want to get a few people that they trust to try their product and get off the ground. And I think that's what we have here. It's kind of a friendly enough environment where people should feel comfortable. Like, yo, try it out.
Yeah.
You need feedback, you get feedback.
You know, but there's something else to that. Like we have the internet. We have all these social tools now that we can start spreading the message and talking about all these amazing new businesses and their ideas. But I've been talking to the the freeholder, because he's the one who's in charge of all the activities that are going on in North Hudson Park, Braddock Park, and he does the farmers market with this woman Amy that I'm also in touch with. And they're looking for vendors for the farmers market, and I'm like, guys, that's exactly the kind of thing that we need in our community. You guys need to like make cheap tables, $50 tables, provide them with the tents, and
we don't really have a farmers market.
We do.
Where is it?
In Braddock Park. See, that's the thing. Like,
you
don't know it,
no.
but we have a farmers market. I forget what day it starts, and I wish I had that information. But we do have it's every Sunday and throughout the summer.
So is it featuring the crops that the locals grow?
No, local farmers come and they sell their stuff, but also vendors come and put their tables. So like people like my friend can sell his. I don't think they allow you to sell cakes and stuff like that. But that's the kind of thing we should be allowing them to do.
But you know, that's
because it's amazing. Shout out to Roger and Tony for their special.
I'm bringing arugula in my garden.
It's like the secret garden.
And my pesto is off the chain when
all the groundhogs are.
I mean, when my groundhogs don't get to it, because like literally, I planted 6 cauliflower plants that were this big. I was ready to go. Came back the next day and told like we didn't block off the garden because I have this fence around my garden. And there's this mischievous groundhog that comes in and destroys our garden every year, and he's just an asshole about it. Like we have these video cameras in our house, and so we see him just like
his mission is to try to like
he vacuums food. He goes.
He's trying to trick Roger and Tony because they always.
We haven't hung out enough, but I'm like that with food. So don't worry, you'll see it.
Like the groundhog.
But you know that you bring up an interesting point. So. If you want to find certain businesses in this area or find things like that going on, you need to be very intentional.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like you could just stumble upon it.
Right.
And I think if you live in a community that has the kind of culture that
connectivity, like people talk to each other,
we need to highlight that, and that needs to become even stronger. Like that should really be what we're progressing towards, so people can say, "Oh wow, a new business popped up. Let's go check it out." Yeah. Who's going to go search for that, or who's going to make that so intentional?
Right. I just spoke about NoHu Collective to my students' parents in Hoboken, and they're not even from the area. But I mentioned it because the kids are involved in all types of things, and they mentioned that they're trying to venture out, and they're right next door. So why do only kid things in Hoboken when you can come and check out the North Bergen Library, check out the parks around here? So I mentioned it to them, and she actually started following us, and she's a baker in the area. Actually, let's shout her out.
Yeah, I think that's really what it's about. You know, we got to find out more about the stories behind these businesses
and spreading it. And you know what? And I'm going to say it again this week because I can't get enough of it. If you don't have the app Nextdoor, download the app Nextdoor and start connecting with your neighbors, because it's like a social media app. It's like a Facebook, but literally just for your neighbors. And like people put their the famous joke going around with this app is like everybody's always losing a dog in every single neighborhood. Everybody's losing a dog or a cat. But you know what? At least they're able to put it in a space. Like instead of putting flyers on every post outside.
Is that a pretty strong community?
Ours, it's getting bigger. Like nice. So every day that I come on, there's like 10 new people that join. Every time I come on, there's like a ton of new people. And I feel like it's accelerating.
You're the digital mayor. I keep hearing about it. So.
No, same. But I feel like the neighborhoods are interesting because even though I'm in North Bergen, I'm considered Weehawken Palisades, which maybe it's okay. Maybe they're just trying to condense.
The way that they describe the communities is very interesting, and I don't know how they developed it. But like for example, me supposedly I live in Woodcliff, right? So our area is Woodcliff, and it's like a very specific area, but there's nothing anywhere else. There's no other legitimate map that like tells you like that's what the area is. So for now, it puts you in whatever neighborhood it developed for your area. But everybody needs to get this app because it's so great to connect people, and it's a great place to see restaurant recommendations. Where is everybody going? Sometimes people are looking, for example, like today I just met this guy who's walking across the room right now, and he is a contractor. He's working on the Parker Cafe where we're at right now to build their fence in their backyard. Parker Cafe is creating a really cool outdoor area right now with like horizontal wood, very modern. They're going to use treated timber. They're going to like do this really cool whitewashing or gray washing on it. I mean, they're like exactly the kind of aesthetic that I love. So I was like, you know what? Let me talk to the guy. And so we're gonna get in touch, and he might, he's gonna give me a quote on my backyard so that we can do a beautiful wood fence on our backyard, because we want to do it ourselves. Like, it would be awesome if we can do it ourselves, but the kind of specific style that we want, and like considering it's gonna be there for many years, might be there for like 10 years. I don't want like us to experiment on construction. Like, I want to get it done by a legit person. So why not do it by someone that you met in your community?
Wait, there's another.
We all have problems that we're looking to get solved, or things that we run into, different pain points, and I just think it's so much better if we can leverage the people in our community, because then it's more than just a transaction. It's
absolutely
like we're connecting on something that matters to us.
Exactly, and people do that all the time on Facebook. They're like, does anybody know this and this? But like, you're gonna get people from, a lot of times, like depending on what your friends list is, like people who live super far from you who can't really immediately help you. But Nextdoor is awesome because I have seen so many of those kind of questions where people are specifically looking for help on the one thing, and like 5-10 people answer in the immediate community. They're just dying to help each other.
Guys, you know what I really want to figure out though is how we can get senior citizens set up with Nextdoor, because I, for example, I live in a community in my building, and in where I used to live. I want to, but I was, I'm like thinking about like what problems are gonna arise, of course, because I'm a chess player. So I'm thinking like what's gonna happen. I don't know, and I know maybe I'm wrong, and you guys can tell me, but I don't know if they're necessarily gonna be excited about this app that really involves them using technology.
Some people come on and they're like, oh, it's just a bunch of people posting about their missing dogs. But a lot of times,
how can we tie them in?
It's gossip too. Like, people love reading about the gossip. But like, we're having a big discussion on this big power plant that they're building in North Bergen right now.
I love that you're talking about the senior citizen community. That was something that hadn't even crossed my mind. But
it crossed my mind big time because I felt like they could totally benefit from the app, and like, and
giving their insights, their history, like, oh, I know that place and I remember what it used to be, and then they start telling stories on Nextdoor.
Right, it could be free for a lot of things.
I mean, every time I go to my grandparents' house, like every other time I hear a crazy story that I never heard before.
Yeah,
there's a wealth of knowledge to be shared in that community, and I think with the advent of technology and the direction we're going, like some people are missing out in participating on that, whether they want to or not.
Yeah. Some
of them are doing it though. They're doing it on Facebook though, which is fine. But a lot of times, like, it just doesn't get discovered as much by your immediate community the way you want it to.
It came up because there's a group of viejitas cubanas. They're so wonderful in my old building, and they have dogs, and they all get along with Dolce, my dog, and they take them out at the same time everywhere. And I wish now that I moved, I can't go with them on these walks like I like to, and I really enjoy doing it because they have older dogs that just like balance out my crazy dog, and so I look forward to these walks. And I was thinking, how can we communicate with one another? They don't really text, they're not up on technology like that, and sometimes when I call, they don't pick up. So I'm thinking it would be great to have like, on Nextdoor, like a meetup even.
A meetup,
have them, learn how we can do that, and we can connect so we can walk our dogs.
Absolutely. Actually,
I want to do that with them.
Nextdoor is where I started the community. Well, it was someone else who started the community garden, but I joined on board because I was really interested in doing this community garden. And the people that I met there, I met such interesting people. Like, I met this guy who's like a beekeeper. His name is Anthony Kinlan, and he lives right nearby me. So he has a bunch of like these bee houses, and he's growing like bee colonies. And for all we know, his bee colony is what's keeping my garden in my backyard beautiful and well, because like the bees from his yard are coming to my house. So anyway, that connectivity.
Is he selling honey?
He sells honey.
So
it's the most delicious honey. Guys,
wait, the one that we had in your kitchen?
Oh my god, it is so delicious. I have never tasted honey so amazing. Yeah, it does. It's just a little bit expensive, but it's worth it. Like, it's artisanal honey. It's made
really
locally.
Expensive regardless.
It's really expensive regardless. But you're getting the legit shit. Like, this guy has the bee houses right there. But anyway, like, him and I talked, and he's talked about that he used to know neighbors that used to do dinner parties, and then they used to rotate these dinner parties at different people's houses, and these were people in their 40s and 50s, and
it's like
that's what they like to do.
Yeah,
your mom is in a running club.
They host bun
cool.
runs, so like breakfast and running, and they rotate. Each of them take turns hosting like a brunch.
Yeah.
So they go and they run, and as they're arriving from the run,
Tony and I talked about it this morning actually because we went on a jog and we're like, Tony, how cool would it be if we could just find like 2 other people to like do a jogging club with, and
100%.
we wake up every morning, we inspire each other, and sometimes I'm not gonna feel down for it. So sometimes there's like 3 people, sometimes 4, sometimes 6 people.
How early are you going?
Yeah, it depends on. I'm not a morning.
Wait,
person.
are you guys running at Braddock Park next week?
We're running every
Are you doing
every
the
time that Tony can get
5K.
me out of bed.
There's a 5K, guys.
Oh,
On
the
the
5K,
12th,
the
yes.
Sapo 5K. Yeah. I'm doing that. I'm signed up. I forget the name of my group, but I think it's, I don't know. I think I don't remember which group I'm in. But if you haven't signed up, do it. It's for charity. It's for a good cause.
I'm definitely gonna do it because my mom.
I'm not in shape for it, but who
It's
cares?
3 miles, guys. It's like 3 point something. We can do it. I'm gonna do it more than that. Well, I'm excited to do it because my mom's a runner and she just broke her leg, so I'm running for her, and I'm gonna kick ass.
Nice.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, we're running out of time, so I wanted to take this opportunity, and there's so much more that we wanted to talk about. We're trying to keep it short. There's so much going on in NoHu. Like literally, we could be here for hours just talking about everything that goes on in this place. But
Check out the site.
Check out the
suggestions, comments.
Feedback.
oh,
everything.
if you sign up to this site, we're going to be reaching out to you soon because I have gotten a bunch of sign-ups on the NoHuCollective.com site, and honestly, like the call to action on the site that we put up is join us, become a content contributor. If you're a really creative person, if you like creating content, if you like sharing, if you like writing, contact us because the whole point of this project is for it to be community-based and community-made. Which means that if you're in this community and you have something to contribute, let us know,
Right.
and let's start working on a plan together. I'll give you access to the site. I'll
Yeah,
give you,
we need you. We want to
contributor
hear from you.
access. We want to hear from you. We want you to tell your stories because there's not enough of us to
I
go
think-
around.
Let's give them a specific question. So,
I
any
like that, Casey.
how's that? Any local business owners that end up watching this, post or comment something that you're looking for help on, and let's see where we go. First person
Giving us homework.
gets an invitation to come hang out with us.
Yeah.
How's that?
And if you want to join our NoHu live stream next week, let us know.
We have some space on the couch,
we
right?
have some space right here, or you can sit on my lap. just
right
kidding.
here.
But we have space for you, and we want you to tell your stories. We're working on getting some guests because we really want to get some different opinions. We want we're all in the same tribe
If
right
you
now.
don't
so we
agree,
agree on a lot of stuff, but
come
we
on
want to
over.
meet you if you don't agree with anything we're saying
Right,
because we want to
especially if
have
you don't agree.
a conversation.
Or if you have a camera, calling all production people.
Oh, yeah.
And we can play
Yeah.
chess, so we
Great.
can play chess afterwards.
All right.
All right.
Thank you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Peace.